And he saith unto me, Right blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, These are the true sayings of God. Revelation 19:9. And as I heard the voice of a great multitude, and as of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunder, saying, Hallelujah, for the Lord God omnipotent reigneth. Let us be glad and rejoice, and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. And he saith unto me, Right blessed are they which are called into the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, These are the good and true sayings of God. Revelation 19:6-9. Hi guys, welcome to Love Story. So this morning I woke up from a really lovely dream, and I love when God gives me the dreams where I can feel his presence and I know he was there. Oftentimes he comes as just as like a regular person, but he uses that person to basically be a figurative I guess vision for me of God. But the difference is, and the reason why it's not actually that person, that outward shell, is because like I can feel when it's God, like I know when it's God. And actually one time I had a dream with my dog, and the dog represented God in my dream. So it was like he was my best friend, or the dog was my best friend, and I ended up selling her for like $100, and like it was this big thing. I actually have a video about it, but it's like this deep feeling that I get when I have these dreams that I just know it's God, and it's so beautiful and just out of this world. Like I can't even explain it. I never had dreams like this before until 2017. So, and the Bible says that in the very last days, he will pour out his spirit, and people will begin to prophesy and have dreams and things like that. So that's why we see it a lot. And so I'll just go into like last night before I went to bed, you know, I know I've been really like intensely studying about the end times, and watching videos about like the rapture and things like that, just to see what are other people getting from God that aligns with what God's showing me. And so, I'm just like, before I went to bed, it was like, God, I like to learn about you. I like to learn about your coming. And I love to read the word. Like I've been like that for a while, and I've always studied end times. Like the last few years, I've studied end times a lot and read Revelation so many times, and Daniel, and just books that correlate with it. And so it's not that I've read this stuff, but it's like at different stages of your life, you go to read it and you're like, oh, I didn't understand that, or oh, I understand that now because of my walk with God, or he'll reveal something different every time. And also, like, there's just a mystery in his word. Some things he literally won't let people understand or reveal until certain times. And so, as every day passes, like, we get closer to his coming, so he's going to reveal more to us also. And so, last night I was just praying, and I was like, God, I know I keep asking you for confirmations and dreams and things like that, lately. But in the summertime, I started getting more dreams. And then eventually I was like, okay, wait, you're actually telling me something here. Like I had a NASA dream where their socks were dirty, and I was like, what in the world? And then I looked up some stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, people are having asteroid dreams and things like that. And so, he gave me a dream about a generator in my garage, 3 generators. I didn't even know what a generator looked like. And, and I saw them in my garage in my dream. And then when I looked up generators online in real life, sure enough, it looked just like what was in my dream. And I couldn't have known that because I've never seen a generator before. So like, he has given me dreams, and it's made me be like, okay, well, God, what are you saying? What's going on? And what are other people are getting similar dreams. So, you're trying to tell us something. And so I was like, God, tonight, like, I'll just rest. And, you don't have to, like, I'm not asking you for anything right now. Like, I'm not, I want your coming, and I look forward to your coming, but, I'm not asking you for any dream and confirmation right now. Like, it's okay. And so, but he gave me one anyway. And so it was really special. And it's like my normal dreams that are prophetic. I am usually waking up from them in the morning. And then I just have that feeling of like, how much God was there, and just like, it's like the best feeling. You don't want to wake up. Like, you just want to stay there and be in the presence of God again. And so, but like the last couple rapture dreams that I've had, I literally was woken up 30 minutes after I fell asleep. So it was like dark outside, and it was just like the quickest rapture dreams. It was like, like he said in one of them, my coming is imminent. And then I woke up. Like, I literally heard like and I woke up like startled. I feel like my rapture dreams, I didn't really explain that well, so I'm explaining it again. And then the other one where the cloud, and all of them have a cloud, okay? And so the other one had a cloud and it said 2020 in it, and then it was like, and I woke up. And then the other one was just, I didn't even see the cloud. I just knew there was a sky, and it was just like, so, and then I woke up. It was just like the noise of that, like it was just so fast. But anyways, that's not what I'm here to talk about. But the dream that I ended up having was, I was walking in like a hall, and it was a beautiful, like, have you ever seen a show or a movie where they're going to see the opera? And they're like, you're up. You can tell you're like not at the bottom floor, but you're like up on some other higher floor, because if you went over in, let's see how to explain it. If you're in a hallway, and then if you're going to go into the opera, you're going to turn, and there's going to be like an open type of door, maybe with a curtain or something, and you're going to go there, and then you're going to sit down, and then you're in the balcony, and you can oversee like the theater area. So I was not in that area, but I was walking in a hallway, and it was a very wide hallway with carpet, and the carpet was, it had designs on it, very fancy. And I could see that there was like an opening over here, and if I were to go over there, I would be able to see like a theater area, I didn't see that, but what I could see was lots of people down there, not necessarily in the balcony, but like over the balcony, down at the bottom floor. And they were in fancy dresses, and they were just talking and communicating. Like when I say tons of people, like, because I was in the hallway, I couldn't see them, but I saw them, like, because it was my dream. It was like, I just knew they were there, and it was lots of people. But also from outside of what I could actually see in my dream, in my heart, I knew there was more people there than what I could even see in my dream. So I will describe it as a great multitude of people. Like, it was so many people. This was like a really big event, and they were there just talking. And so I'm in this hallway, and what I'm doing is, like, there's people behind me. It's like there's like this flow of like people. There's like, if you've ever been to an event where people are cooking and preparing for like some type of banquet or whatever, if you've ever been behind the scenes, you know, people are preparing, and they're walking back and forth and putting stuff together. And so people are behind me, and we're just having like this flow. But it's like, me and the people that I was with, we were there to attend the event. And I knew the people that were over the balcony area, they were dressed and ready also for the event. But then there was like workers also working the event, almost like, you know, when you see those fancy movies and people serve you hors d'oeuvres, and people who are like butlers. It was like a lot of people like that. And eventually in the hallway, as I'm walking, and we're like kind of like walking pretty fast, but it's such a big place, it was okay. Like, we were walking fast, and there was just I knew there was like different segues to get to the event. So I was trying to find my spot, my area to go to enjoy the event. And I ended up coming towards the end of the hall, and my segue was to the left, which was down some stairs. And the people were still following me, people that were trying to find their place for the event also. And they were like in fancy dresses. I don't know what I was wearing, but they were just in nice dresses, you know, heels, dresses, something you would wear to a ball or something. I didn't see any fluffy dresses, but I just saw long dresses, like as if you were attending like a king, queen event. I'm trying to think of like a movie. Anyways, you get the point. So I start walking down the stairs with this guy, and his name is Kanan in real life. And there was also people from my past, like old friends. I mean, I just knew they were there. I don't know specifically, but Kanan is a friend I went to school with. And I know in my dream he was put there probably because of his name. And actually right before this dream, I remember having a dream and he was also in it. But it was like a center, I can't remember it. I don't want to make this video so long, but, and then it was like the event switch. So I went from one dream with him in it to this dream. And so I'm walking down the stairs, and like the group of people that I was kind of with that were behind me, they were still following, and I'm walking with him, and we get closer, and he grabs my arm on this side and he takes me, and we're so close. It's like a supernatural close. And the feeling, like I knew he represented God, and he was my best friend in this dream. Like he was my best friend, like best feeling ever. And he was telling me of the event details and where we ended up. We were going to, it was almost like the area of the building where they prepare the stuff. Like, so all the cooks and the cleaners and all the event planners, we were going in that way. So we passed all the areas where we could go enjoy the event, and we were being shown the preparations. And I knew, even though it was like an opera house, it was also like a banquet. And the people behind me were gossiping. They were like, she's married, she's like cheating on her husband, because me and this person were so close. But it was God, it was the Holy Spirit, it was Jesus. He was my best friend. And I've had multiple dreams where, like I was saying, like where Jesus was in the form of a person, but there's a message behind it. God speaks in riddles and mysteries and parables and things like that. So no funny stuff between me and my friend. So, and the closeness was just amazing. Like God was my best friend, and he was just showing me the events. It was like I was being taken on a tour of what's to come, and it was just so exciting, so beautiful. But there was people there. They were just talking. They were have you ever seen like those shows like where there's like kings and queens, and they have they basically have like political events where they're just having a feast, a festival, and they're standing and they're talking and they're wearing their fancy stuff, but not like big puffy, but like, you know, straight dresses, very elegant, and hors d'oeuvres. Like I just know it was like that type of event. I didn't see the hors d'oeuvres, but you know, like wine like type glasses, like very fancy. And it was like, it wasn't like in the political shows or wherever with the kings and queens and stuff. I know there's like plots in there, and so like there's like a reason why they have these events, and it's all political. But in my dream, it wasn't like that. It was just like this sweetness of this beautiful, amazing, pure event. And so I'm really trying to give this dream justice, because it was just so beautiful. I really felt like I was part of the behind the scenes team that's going to make this event beautiful. And the people, I'm telling you guys, it was so many people. It was just, I knew it was just a multitude. So let me give like, I guess like some meaning to this dream biblically. Canaan, who was my best friend. Canaan means a biblical place. So if I was with my best friend, and he was like the head of the event planning. So if God has gone to prepare a place for us, a banquet in the Bible, you know, he's gone to prepare a place, a love feast, a festival, not festival, but like a feast. He's gone to prepare a place for us, and a lovely dinner, and the door, like people are invited, but not everybody's going to accept the invitation, but those who do, they'll get to go. And so, you know, God has prepared that place. Canaan, biblical place. Jesus went to prepare that place for us. And Canaan also means humble, and Jesus is humble. He died on the cross for everyone, for people who mock him, who don't love him, you know, people who don't believe in him. He was humbled enough to do that. And Canaan also means subdued, and it can also mean purple or royalty. And so like that place is going to be a place of royalty. Like I tell you, like for this event, like you want like you know, like how Hollywood has red carpet events and everybody's all fancy and stuff like that. Let me tell you, Hollywood has nothing on this event that I was at. Like, first of all, it was bigger than stinking Hollywood, and it was more beautiful in the sense of what was going to take place. And I don't even know what that was, but Hollywood has nothing on this, I tell you. Okay, I tell you. And so I told you guys it was like an opera banquet type of place. and I was walking down a hallway. So a hallway means like a point of like you're gonna be going that way and there is no turning around. And I can confirm that through, I had a dream a couple years ago where I was in a hospital, and I'll just give a quick version of it. And this person was there, and he represented like the devil basically. And I ended up coming out of the hospital room, and stuff took place in the hospital room in bed. But I ended up going to a hallway, and who was standing there waiting for me was my husband and my son. And I turned right. And ever since I had that dream, some very specific things have taken place in my life where certain sin was cut off, and I left the hospital, like in real life, or in my dream I left the hospital, but in real life I left that sick bed of I'll say infirmities. Infirmities is sin, but also like sickness and sin. Like you can say somebody is sick with sin, if I'm explaining that right. But I ended up going to this hallway, and my husband represented God the Father, and my son represented Jesus. And so I ended up walking away with them down that hallway, and I have not turned back ever since, like literally. So a hallway literally does mean without going down it without any like without any return, like without going back. So this to me symbolizes like I was walking down the hallway, the banquet hall where God is preparing it. Like there's no turning back. Like this banquet dinner was almost ready. Like people were there ready to celebrate, multitudes of people. And you know what, like I'm just getting this as I'm speaking, like I'm wondering if, because like one thing I've been praying, and I know a lot of people pray, is that, you know, their loved ones would be there, people's hearts would be ready, people would be prepared and ready when Jesus comes. And actually yesterday, while I was just praying randomly at one point, I was like, God, like please, like I need you to come back. Like I just need your presence. I want your presence. I crave your presence every day, and I can't focus. Like, and thank God I finished my last 8 weeks for my nursing class. And I mean, like, because I took a break. I'm on a 2-month break or whatever until January. And I'm just going to do ministry full time. And what a blessing, because anytime where I've done ministry full time, meaning like stay at home mom, I still had to work. So I was still working like little part-time jobs, but now I'm not. Like I'm just going to do ministry full time. And I'm blessed to have a husband who's a hard worker, and God uses him in that way. His gifts, like he works hard and he supports our family of 6. But, anyways, the event, I just wonder if like God is saying like people's hearts are ready. Like people are coming because they were there. They were ready. They were waiting, man. Glory to God. That must be a revelation that people are ready. Lots of people are ready. They are ready. Now, I guess everybody that we want is not going to be ready, but man, they are ready. And so I was there. They were dressed. The event was like, he was talking to me, you know, like when you put on like a show, like a theater show or anything, like that leader, the one who's taken charge of it, is like walking behind the scenes and making sure all the last tidbits, and they're about to go on stage. Like it was like that. That's what it felt like, you know, like he was like talking to me, giving me information, like, you know, like we're about to start. And the thing is like people were down there. I knew they had their, you know, they had their like wine glasses or champagne glasses or whatever. So they were down there talking. They had to be eating some hors d'oeuvres or something. They were, you know, as if like an orchestra was about to play. And or maybe it was there, like, and I'm speculating because I can see that there was an event already, it was already taking place, and just knowing how these fancy things happen, there's always something like that. And these people were being entertained. They just were. Like they weren't just there waiting and doing nothing. They were there, and the people behind me and the flow of everything that was happening was like people were going to take their seats to watch the event, to be a part of the event and enjoy it. So so walking down the hallway, I explained that, and I was with my best friend. And yeah, so that was it. It was beautiful. So, and then when I woke up from this dream, I looked at my phone, and, Brother Ski, he's here local with us. He, does full-time ministry. He carries a baptism tank, in the back of his truck thing or whatever. And, he goes out and stands on corners, and not like in a crazy way, but in a really loving way, and has a nice Jesus sign, and he stands out there with a smile, you know, letting people know that Jesus is coming. And I think him and some other people pray for people, and I want to join, but I haven't joined yet. And he had a dream, and he had sent a text message to a group of us believers, and his dream was some type of bombs over Israel. He could see Israel in his dream, and I think he said bombs. It was a quotation mark, and it looked like bombs. And he said something about, you know, pray for Israel and their safety. So, you know, and he feels, you know, it's time is short and close. And, you know, a lot of people that I talk to, they don't know about my dreams. They don't know about my channel. They don't know about, you know, some of the stuff. So it's just nice to get a confirmation, especially for somebody that doesn't even know. And then real quick, my son called me like right before I shot this video, and he said, Mom, I had a dream. And he doesn't have a lot of dreams at all. And it basically was like bombs were planted in my house, and we lived in a mansion, and there was bombs, and they exploded, but we ended up being outside the house, and it didn't hurt us, and it didn't hurt the inside of the house. It just hurt the outside of the house. And we were fine. We ended up going out to eat. We went to Brio, which we love Brio. That's like where we go for our family celebrations when my dad comes to town. Wow. That was a revelation. Oh my gosh. My dad, that represents God. And like, we always go to Brio when my father comes to town. Like all the time. That's like our thing to do. And so I guess in my son's dream, you know, there was destruction, and Jesus came to get us, and we went out to eat. That reminds me of the banquet. That reminds me of the supper that he has invited everyone to. I don't mean to ugly cry. Sorry, guys. And when we came back to the mansion, the house was fine. My son said, and we were fine. We weren't sad. We were fine. He just, when we came back, my husband found another way to get in the house, because I guess he couldn't come in through the front door, but he went up and jumped up maybe about 12 feet in the air. He jumped really high. My husband did. And then the roof got higher and higher, my son said. And he wanted to get his phone. I said no. He wanted to get it just because it was something expensive, so I think he was trying to protect it. And then he wanted to get his money. And I said, okay, his money in his piggy bank. And he said he had 3 $100 bills, and they were missing. And he had 20s also, and they were missing. And he said all he could find was like a lot of pennies and like 2 dimes and 1 quarter. And he was so mad. He said he was raged in the dream. He was so mad. My son's 9, about to be 10. He said the dream seemed to be forever. And then, by the way, I don't know, he said the mansion was really cool. He said it was really cool, especially downstairs. And he did say when the bombs were planted inside and they went off, he said there was timers on the bombs. And so yeah, and we saw the explosion, but we were outside. And then that's when we had went to Brio. And yeah. And when we came back was when we went back into the house, and it was fine. I wonder if that has anything to do with us like leaving for the supper that God has prepared for us, and then coming back for the Gog and Magog war, like, and you know, and then the New Jerusalem. Like, I just wonder if that has anything to do with it. I don't know, but wow, this is just beautiful to me. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go so I can I don't know, do whatever I'm gonna do. All right, guys, please be blessed. Tell people about Jesus. The time is short. I just can't believe we're in this time. I mean, we've been saying it for 2,000 years almost that he's coming, and it's just getting closer. So God bless, and love you. Here's a picture of me, my family, out to eat with my father. This is literally like a ritual that we have. We were celebrating him and his graduation. And this is an example of the hallway that I was walking in, although it was carpeted, but it was just, there was drapes. Like, I knew that there was an area where you could segue and actually see the ballroom area. Here's another hallway and how you could be up. And then this is an example of like what I knew, where I knew people were hanging out in. In the middle, people were able to stand. There was no chairs. but I knew there was some type of a stage also. So there was going to be like a performance, but people were standing in the middle in their fancy gowns, just like that. Like they were standing there and they were just enjoying themselves. And there was a multitude of people, like so many people that I didn't even see. So there was a stage floor, and all these pictures are actual opera houses. And I don't just look at opera houses, so this was really interesting to see.